Executive Director of the Greater Medina Chamber of Commerce, and we're here for our monthly quick chat with Don Hicks from Sheakley.
Hello.
Hi,
Good to
Don.
be here again. Thank you.
So this month we're going to talk about something that is unfortunately quite topical in relation to the pandemic, and that is unemployment. And so what have you seen in regards to unemployment related to the pandemic?
Yeah, to your point, unfortunately, a lot of businesses are dealing with that these days, and primarily for the last 6 months. So just more claims, more claims being filed, more furloughs, more layoffs, and businesses are really struggling with that. How do they handle it? How do they help their employees? How do they try to avoid it? So it's unfortunately it's a big topic these days.
So when an employer is dealing with all of this, what's involved from their end on filing a claim?
Yeah, so there's the administrative side,
Okay.
The paperwork that's involved. There are some deadlines that when a claim is filed that the employer has to meet.
Okay.
So there's all those administrative challenges. Some employers, you could have a claim that you just don't agree with. And it's the process of disputing that claim and maybe having to go to a hearing and all of that legal stuff that's involved creates some challenges for the employer. So, and the last thing I will mention on that is it has the potential to increase their unemployment tax rate or their rate that they pay for unemployment insurance in the state of Ohio. It can be a challenge from that standpoint as well.
So even if they hit all their deadlines, file all their paperwork appropriately, there could still be an increase.
It could be. It could be depending on the history of their unemployment claim history and how many claims have been successful could impact the rate that they pay.
Gotcha. So how does an employer know all these dates and what they need to file and when and all that?
Yeah, if they do it themselves, it can be a challenge.
I would imagine.
They're running their business and they're dealing with all of this administrative stuff. For example, Sheakley, we have an unemployment specialty, a practice that will help clients with that. So if any of the members are interested in talking about that, we'd be happy to provide some information. So an employer can do it on their own, or they can hire a vendor, a partner to help them with it.
Okay, great. So what would you say is the most important best practice for an employer relative to the unemployment claim process?
Yes, very good question. So the biggest thing for an employer, whether you do it in-house or you hire someone, is documentation. Okay. Document the claim and the history of that employee. For example, do they have a history of being tardy or absent? What is their productivity like? Is there disciplinary issues? Just document everything about all of the employees.
Sure.
So when something is in dispute or there's a claim filed, that you can readily go back to those records to support your case.
So good file keeping throughout the year, no matter if you think that there's an issue coming down the road or not, is your best practice.
That's exactly right. The biggest challenge employers have is when there's a dispute, but there's no documentation to back it up. Right. It can create some headaches for an employer.
I'm sure. I'm saying document.
That's exactly right. Yes.
So what role can technology play in helping to manage an unemployment claim for an employer?
Yes. So for an employer, if they do it internally, I have seen a lot of employers. It's a manual process. It's papers and files, which is fine, but that can be very cumbersome, very tedious. So as many things as you can put online as far as employee files and documentation, it will just make your life from an administrative standpoint a lot easier. Being able to track the process of that claim when an unemployment claim is filed, being able to track it, and more importantly, in meeting some of the deadlines. From the state of Ohio, there are state agencies with the state of Ohio that manage the unemployment process. So to be able to, through technology, meet some of those deadlines and submit some records through technology from the employer to the state agency just helps streamline and help makes things a lot more simple.
Sure, because it's such a cumbersome process anyway, so anything that can help alleviate any of the challenges along the way would be welcome.
That's exactly right. And I will add this, is going back historically in the employee file, using technology and online document storage is a lot easier than going through paper files.
Sure.
So technology that's where we are today.
Can definitely understand that.
That's right.
So does it matter what type of business you're in related to the unemployment claim process?
It really doesn't. I mean,
Okay.
some of the high turnover industries are just more susceptible to unemployment claims. If there's a high turnover environment, we see a lot in the restaurant industry, particularly with the pandemic.
Right now, right.
So high turnover industries just naturally are more susceptible to unemployment claims. But it really doesn't matter. You know, unemployment can impact any industry, any employer.
As long as you have employees,
That's
it's a possibility.
that's exactly right. So,
Got it. Well, thank you for your time today, Don.
Sure.
And I want to remind our members that if you have any questions related to unemployment, just even general conversational questions, reach out to Don. His information is on our website, and he'd be happy to walk you through your claim process and what could be done to make it more efficient. So, Don, thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Thank you.